So today, Johnny Depp got his justice. Congratulations, Johnny, you deserved it. But this brings up another issue that's been nagging and dragging along throughout the entire course of this trial between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
My dog stepped on a bee, and bee. My dog stepped on a bee, and bee. My dog stepped on a bee.
Yes, the concept of perjury. The idea that Amber Heard knowingly made false statements under oath through her testimony, affidavits, and depositions regards to this case. Yes, she could be tried for perjury, but there's better odds you're going to win the lottery tomorrow. No, not that lottery. The good kind. The kind you want to win. So I can say with much confidence, Amber Heard will not be tried anywhere in the United States for perjury. Why? Well, there's multiple reasons. First, in a civil trial, it comes down to issues of he said versus she said. Party A versus Party B. One's telling a story, the other's telling their version of it. They both can't be correct. Someone has to win, someone has to lose. So whether it's a contract dispute, medical malpractice, or simply a car accident, one side is going to be believed over another. And if one side's found to be incorrect or wrong, well, does that mean they lied? No, of course not. But we don't want people to be afraid of bringing civil suits with the idea that they could be facing perjury charges. Now, I know some of you are thinking, well, you may have the wrong account of something, and that's certainly not what happened here in Amber's case, and I would agree, this is probably the most extreme example, but it's those extreme examples that people notice and people know about. Secondly, convicting someone of perjury, even if you were doing this in the context of a criminal prosecution to somebody lying under oath in a murder trial, for example, is very, very hard to prove. All it takes is for that person to come up on the stand and say, well, I guess I was wrong, or, well, I thought, or, gosh golly, I'm just an idiot. And they can't prove knowingly at that point. It doesn't take much to defeat a perjury charge. Now, yes, if you have somebody somewhere who they wrote down, ha 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 ha, yes, I committed perjury, I can't believe I'm getting away with it, signed Amber, well, yes, then you'd have a lot of ammunition, but that doesn't exist. So, once again, Amber's going to say, well, I believed or I thought. Is that knowingly? Would you really want to charge that? Could you prove it? I don't know. The third reason is that when people tell lies, they tend to get caught up in those lies. And when that happens, they generally lose in civil trials. Case in point, Amber. We use the civil trial itself to show, look, no one believed you. We didn't find you credible. And for the fourth point, and I would argue probably the most critical of all the points, does this serve the interest of justice? Now, you've heard me talk about that before if you've listened to these videos, and I think it's critical to make that assessment. Sure, you may not like Amber, you may hate what she did, you may think she deserves it. But that's when you really need to look at it. Does it serve the interest of justice? Do you really think it's worth the district attorney's time, the state's attorney's time, to go chase her down and prosecute her for this crime? Well, there's any number of violent crimes, robberies, rapes, murders, sex crimes, insert whatever is going on to the people in that community that actually need addressed. Do they really need to go after this Hollywood movie star who told a fib between her and her ex-husband when they argued over defamation and a couple $1 million? No, that's not what they should be doing. They should be serving their community. And does her prosecution serve a greater interest than the $8.35 million judgment can do? A jury of that community has already spoken and they've already punished her. So what's the point? Now, if you remember earlier, there was an asterisk to one of my statements about her being tried for perjury in the United States. Well, there's the rest of the world. In particular, Australia. Australia is looking into whether or not Amber should be charged with perjury for her statements regarding the importation of her 2 dogs, the same dogs that supposedly pooped in the bed, and whether or not she violated the laws by lying about that in her affidavit she put in the UK. In addition to Australia, Great Britain itself is looking into what she did in those affidavit she filed in Johnny Depp's trial against The Sun, a newspaper in Britain. She also is given testimony, but we don't know what was said because it was behind closed doors and done in secret. But the British government is looking into that. And that's very dangerous for Amber because now she's pissed off 2 separate foreign governments. And it's not like these are some rinky-dink countries somewhere in Central Europe or some rinky-dink countries, in Central Asia. She pissed off Great Britain, one of the G7. She pissed off Australia, one of the fellow Anglosphere countries, which is very powerful and has a lot of pull.
That's a bloody outrage, it is. I want to take this all the way to the Prime Minister. Hey, Mr. Prime Minister! Andy!
Aye, mate. What's a good word?
So yes, are they going to be able to get her extradited? Probably not. But Amber's got a bigger problem. They could simply bar her entry into a country. So she's no longer allowed to come to Australia. She's no longer allowed to come to Great Britain. And even if they do charge her and they decide not to extradite her, those charges will still be out there for the minute she sets foot in Australia or Great Britain. But also remember, Great Britain, for example, has its Dominion and Commonwealth, which include places like Jamaica, New Zealand, Australia, Canada, any number of countries who may be happy to execute a British arrest warrant. Not only that, Europe may be happy to do it. So Amber's got a lot of problems at this point that are far bigger than potentially being charged with a felony case either in Virginia or California. Because when you look at what's going on in Amber's life right now, what does she have? She has an $8.3 million judgment against her that she can't get rid of in bankruptcy. Public humiliation. Losing this trial, becoming the butt of many jokes and memes. The inability to possibly travel overseas if Australia and Britain do punish her for her actions. And the loss of her career. I mean, let's face it, she's not going to be in Aquaman 3 anymore or anything really good. She's probably going to be doing sci-fi movies at best, maybe. I mean, when you think about that and all that she's lost, a felony charge sounds kind of appealing in comparison. So that's it for today, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Once again, congratulations, Johnny. You were vindicated. After watching this trial and following it quite a bit, God almighty, Amber, if this was the best you had, you should have taken the easy way out when you had the chance. So remember, until next time, just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. Even you, Amber, you're not guilty. You just owe $8.3 million. Have fun with that.